Hey, welcome everyone for the XANA Global Meetup, April 29th. This is almost the end of the April. It's really quick, like 4 months has been passed in this year. So let me go through the 7 topics in the total today. I think I have more than 7 topics. Today's topic will be the XANA Festival 4.0, concept of the real X Metaverse. And XANA update include the SNS feed and NFT recognition function and the smart contract update about XANA Genesis and also NFTDuel and the launch of XANA Japan and new MVP monthly event for MVP dramas and MVP game builder. That's gonna be the menu of today. That seems a lot, so let's go through. Let me go from XANA Festival 4.0. Actually, the XANA Festival 4.0, the long-awaited event, has been fixed for 30th May, the end of May. And that's gonna be the collaboration event with the Amazon Music Japan. That's fantastic. Like anybody on the earth knows about Amazon. And they just launched their very first music studio in Tokyo, Japan, the central of Shibuya. The Shibuya is the central place of the culture in Japan. Fashions, music, and a lot of pop cultures is starting, like street cultures as well. Like a lot of cultures is starting from there. There's a lot of medias, companies, and there's a lot of things in Shibuya. And they launched their first content studio at I believe, 2022 March. So this studio is only like a year old. Very new, very new. I was visited there at the beginning of April this year, and I met the fantastic director over there. They are so great, and I was so surprised because the director of the studio, he was ex-Sony, and he was involved into a lot of new like generation entertainment, such as like VR, Metaverse, and the movies, music, of course, a lot of things. And we did a lot of brainstorming at the time. I went through all of the studios. He just introduced me to go through the studio. And that's really inspiring. It's so advanced and it is totally like a multimedia kind of studio. They have a recording studio and the small like live spaces and the streaming studio and shooting studio and many, many more. It's like a kind of mixture of like everything. It's not like only like a music studio or live studio. It's just like they made that for the content distributions and to let it be a central of like a cultural hub, I believe. That is why they launched it in the central of Shibuya. So that is a fantastic place. And they're already this first year, they've been welcoming a lot of top artists involving like a rock artist, like electronic artist, pop artist, of course, and many more, like a lot of big names are there. And they are so eager to challenge about our Metaverse X reality event because like he had like kind of, like Metaverse background behind him. So we talked about a lot of common things and he was so passionate about that. I was so surprised because I wasn't really expected about like a metaverse related thing right when I go to the Amazon studio. So that is why I was really inspired and really surprised. So like we talked a lot of things and built a concept of the XANA Festival, like new version of the XANA Festival, which involved a real venue with the metaverse spaces. So that is a new concept of the XANA Festival. So we're gonna basically upgrade the original concept of the XANA Festival into a mixture event of real and virtual. That is the whole concept of this new XANA Festival. And we are targeting on the 30th May, Tuesday. It's going to be around night time. And I'm imagining something like a 2 hours kind of event. And the whole concept is that we're going to live stream what is happening at the studio into a metaverse space. Vice versa as well. We're gonna live stream what is happening in the metaverse in the real event venue as well. So we're gonna just like interconnect each others, and we hope like we can have some kind of interaction between them, both world. That is a concept, and we are thinking about having some kind of a guest artist. We haven't exactly fixed yet, but like we have some big name in mind, so we are just like adjusting the final schedule with them. So let's see, within like 2 to 3 weeks, we can announce the guest. And also, like, I'm planning to have some kind of a talk session with the Amazon Japan, because that's going to be really interesting. I believe they are seeing some kind of same future that we are seeing, where the metaverse meets the reality, and it's going to complete each other. I mean, it's like the metaverse itself is a great thing, but like I believe there's going to be something to do with reality more, and we can somehow connect the real world and the metaverse world at the higher level in multiple perspectives, and to create something like a new experience. It is not only like real, it is not only the metaverse, but something beyond that. That is our concept. So this time it's going to be like some kind of trial, and from here we are trying to do this one in more like regular basis, maybe hopefully like monthly. And we're going to keep update this concept and try new things every time to let it evolve time to time. That is the concept of this event. So we will see, as long as like Amazon is okay with it too, and we can probably plan to every month regular event. That is what we are aiming for. So that's going to be it. So like I'm going to probably do some kind of like a final announcement in upcoming days about this, details of the event and dates. That's going to be really exciting. For the audiences, I heard the capacity of this venue. If we do this serious streaming event, then we have to think about some kind of space for the equipments and the, streaming stations, and there going to be a lot of equipment. So probably there will be somewhere around like 30 to 40 people can fit at that place. We're gonna have the event probably at the ground floor of the studio. There are some kind of like a DJ party space, and the decoration interiors are so fashionable. Like they are having a concept of the combination of the futuristic things with the analog thing, physical thing. They have like a analog records, the vinyl records on the wall, and they have like very futuristic speakers and high spec like audio systems, and of course a DJ deck, etc. So that's gonna be like a really interesting place to do the 2 hours event at the first floor, and probably there will be kinda 30 to 40 people space to fit in. Of course, this is going to be like invitation only. Probably we're going to pick the best members from our XANA DAO, the best contributors, and the MVP holders, the token holders, the NFT holders. Yeah, like we can think about it. Think about how to pick those members. But surely we're going to invite some of them as much as possible. That's our aim. So that those guys like who invited to the event, they can participate from the real venue. And the other members all around the world, they can participate from the metaverse. And we're going to somehow connect them each other. That's kind of very interesting, right? So that is about the XANA Festival 4.0. I just started doing my DJ mixes preparation today. Spent like 5 to 6 hours, and I can feel like this set will be a really exciting one. Like a lot of fresh musics and the new type of the combinations that unlike to any past festival, which is like 1.0 to 3.0 XANA Festival. This set will be something really different. So I'm very excited. So probably like I'm going to spend like another week to prepare everything and start practicing, and we will see. We will see. That's going to be very exciting. And I'm also thinking about some kind of like new challenge from the music perspective as well. Not just like only doing the DJ, but like thinking about something new. So we will see. We will see. I cannot say it right now. I'm still like preparing. So like once I can prepare everything, then I can announce. So there will be some kind of new music challenge as well. That is about the event and the concept of the real X Metaverse event. So let me go to the update of XANA Metaverse applications. So we updated XANA to the version 4.14. I believe that's the latest version, right? We spent a lot of time this time, probably more than a month, I believe. Yes, because it took a lot of time for this upgrade. So that upgrade include 3 major functions. One is the NFT recognition function, Web3 login function as well. And another thing is like SNS feed functions. Yeah, those are the major thing. Let me go through the like a Web3 login system. This function has been there since last year, but like we are kind of muted yet until the right time comes. As you know, like there's like a lot of regulation changes about the apples and stuff. So we're still in the negotiations with the Apple. We will probably, I really believe like this year, the Zen app can come back to the App Store. But that's going to be, of course, like Web2 applications. So now the test applications, like the one we have in the test flight, that can be anything because it's just like a test applications. We are just talking about like we know that we're going to launch the XANA 2.0 applications for the like Web2 application once the Apple comes back. So then I think that we don't know like Web3 logins and NFT functions, those can be implemented on the test flight version. And in the future, who knows? Maybe Apple will change their mind to go into the Web3 directions, or we don't know. So until the time comes, we're going to keep doing these separations. The Web3 functions for the test flight and the Web2 functions going to be on the main App Store, and Android side could be Web3. I really hope they don't change mind. Android, please don't change the mind. So like we can keep the Web3 on. That's how we decided about the Web3 login, so that we implemented that so that you can try out on the test flight version and Android version. It's very simple. It's pretty straightforward. You can just select a wallet login, and that's going to summarize some of your mobile wallet, and you can just directly log in from there. Once you log in as a Web3 user, then you could also be able to see the NFTs that you are owning. That is like some of you guys are using the MetaMask. Some of you guys probably use a Wallet. Anyhow, you'll be able to see the NFTs that you're owning. And this time we already implemented the breaking down NFTs. And time to time, we'll keep adding the another NFTs that we have been already releasing, such as, Koshino Hiroko, wearables, XANA sneakers, and the skateboard, and many, many more. So you cannot wear it yet, though. We're still working on it. So probably like somewhere around May, we can enable the wearing functions so that you can actually start wearing. But now at least you can start browsing those NFTs in the Zen app. That's a big progress. So please enjoy, try out Web3 logins and look at your NFTs. And of course, soon there will be a wallet function as well. Like you can probably start seeing your cryptos such as like Zeta token or the Zeni, the upcoming in-app currency, will also be able to seen in this Zen application as well. And the purpose of this Web3 login is not for the mobile, but this is mainly for the browser version of XANA. So let me talk about a little bit about the browser version. This browser version is something that we are really seeing the future, because like the browser, they don't have any kind of limitations from anyone. It's totally like a freedom space, and you can just open it just like a website, and no one can put like any kind of limitation on the website except China or like some country. But it's pretty much like free, straightforward world. Like there is no store to judge our applications if it's like a browser based. That is why like a lot of, the existing web gaming or like Web3 applications, they are mainly on the browser basis. So that like we were focusing on launching this browser version of XANA, and we are very close actually. We're almost there. We're just doing the kind of final adjustment for the only two parts majorly left, which is on like the controller. We want the controller to be more smooth, to have a same kind of like smooth experience that you are having on the mobile applications. We are trying to achieve it in the browser basis as well. So that is something that we are working on. And another thing is the loading time. The loading time is something is not really straightforward. It is really tricky thing. As you know, like our metaverse is like a totally server based. So that every time you're going to the new world, you start building that world at the same time. At that moment, when you're going to the next world, then it's going to start loading the new world, just like that. And this flow is going to be the same for the native app side and the browser side as well. But frankly, there will be some kind of like a 10 to 20 second extra seconds for the loading. I mean, more like for loading the actual world. So there will be some kind of like extra time that we are trying our best to avoid. So now you will experience a little bit longer loading time compared to the native applications. As soon as like those two issues are solved, we can launch this browser version of XANA. And that's going to be very, very smooth experience because a browser for the Mac, your laptop or like desktop could be comparatively the large screen, totally bigger than mobile phone, so that you can just enjoy the many content of the XANA, or like exploring the world, festivals, like games, upcoming games in the browser. I mean, in the desktop or like a laptop, with the like large screens. So that is the like main purpose. It's going to be really great. And another advantage is that when we're trying to promote XANA, then most of the people are find XANA through the online. They're going to search it, or like they're going to click some links to come to XANA. And imagine if you can directly open XANA as soon as they click the links. That's going to be very effective, right? Instead of just like going to the app stores or like a Google store to start downloading the stuff and installing and, agree with the terms and, like creating the account and stuff, like that's a time-taking process. And the people who really want to play will play, but like maybe, like some people, like they're going to drop out as soon as like they see like, oh, I don't want to download the applications. I don't want to log in and register and etc. And browser version of XANA can solve those issues. As soon as you see this link in the Twitter, like YouTube descriptions and like news feeds, and you're going to jump into the metaverse right away without installing the applications. That is the largest advantage of the browser version. So that is the main purpose. And of course, if it's a browser version, the Web3 logins and NFT functions are super easy. So that we're probably releasing this browser version on I hope, somewhere around like mid of May. Okay? So that is the browser version that we are working on. Let me go back to the function update about the XANA applications. So this XANA applications new function is the SNS feed. So the SNS feed is kind of very important. And this is strongly connected with the new version of the XANA website. We are working on the XANA website as well, and that's going to be like a content hub of the metaverse, so that you could browse a lot of content like a world, games, and the dancing, avatar motions, a lot of things could be browsable from a new version of the XANA website. We are working on it, and probably somewhere in the first week of the May, we can launch this new version of the XANA website. And you will see like how different it is. It is very convenient, and there will be so much content in there. So once those website launches, this SNS feed will act like a very important role. Like TikTok or Instagram or like Twitter or like any kind of recent SNS, the feed functions is very important. It is the place where you can find the new people's update, your friends' update, find the new people, find the new content, find the new excitement thing. And those will be explored through this SNS feed. So that we develop this one and we implement it into the application first, so that as soon as you open the XANA app, then you can see those kind of content in a feed which your friends or like someone posted. And at the same time, this new version of the XANA website will also show those content, so that any kind of new people who visit in the XANA website, they can directly start seeing those kind of metaverse content that you or like any other users created in the app. So that's kind of, becoming a great bridge and connections and pulling the interest for any new users who visit the website. We're going to attract them by those content. So that is why we made this function. And this function is actually really fun. And there will be a lot of like upside and space to grow for these functions. We are planning to have some kind of more the easy creation of the dance videos, the funny videos, and the freedom of the cameras, and also using the internal camera of the mobile phone to have a kind of like a real-time facial expressions and avatar streaming or some kind of stuff, those will be all inside of this SNS functions. So that this is the very beginning and very just like a basic stuff that we launched. And we're going to keep like update this function time to time. So that is pretty much about the XANA update. Let me go through the contract update of XANA Genesis. So we are planning to upgrade the smart contract of XANA Genesis NFT collections from 1st May to 3rd May. It's really a simple change. We're going to enable two functions majorly. The one is the royalty collection functions, because like as you guys know, the OpenSea, they changed the rules and they're almost like ignoring the royalties for the old collections. And unfortunately, our smart contract of the XANA Genesis was kind of old back in that time, like almost like 1 year ago. They are still like very early stages of our NFT format. So that is not upgradable, which is safe, of course. But when such times comes, then only cons is that like we have to upgrade or we cannot upgrade. So like we have to replace the smart contract itself. So there will be a lot of like advantages. The one is that like as soon as we recover the royalty fees, then the bot purchases or trading or flipping will be reduced drastically, I believe. Like many other NFTs, famous collections, global top NFTs, they've been sacrificed by this major change of the OpenSea a lot, because bots, they can just flip NFTs without caring anything about that NFTs or like anything about royalties. As long as there is no royalty, and bot can create like generate the profit very easily. They can just like monitor the market, and even though it's a small, very tiny profit, they can flip the NFTs. So that is what's happening right now on past like 2 months in this NFT industry. You guys know like a price is dropping down very hard for any kind of collections. So like at least what we can do is like we're going to recover this LT collection function so that like it can at least give us some kind of like becoming like a stopper of this price action by the bot. That is the first thing. And the second thing, more important, is that we can implement our newer functions such as like the NFT lock for the safeties and the prevention of the dealing of the NFTs and etc. Our recent collections, NFT collections after the XANA Genesis always have this kind of functions, but unfortunately that time like we didn't have that. So that this newer version of XANA Genesis collections contract can have those new functions so that everybody will be safer, much safer than the current one. So we hope that can also reduce the chance of the stealing of the NFTs as well. So that is about the XANA Genesis update. Let me go to the NFTDuel card upgrade. We have been upgrading NFTDuel cards from ERC 721 to 1155. That is the one major change according to the upgrade of NFTDuel, which we are turning that game into a fully on-chain model. So that before, on our test phases, you can have some kind of like the NFTDuel Genesis cards such as ULTRAMAN or like Astroboy to play a test card in the game, right? So you don't have to actually have all those NFT cards to join the game. You can only have a Genesis cards. But this time, since our upgrade, of course, this will start becoming a real on-chain gaming so that you can only use your actual owning NFTs. So that is a major change. And for that, at the same time, we decided to upgrade our NFTs to 721 to the 1155 because there will be a lot of NFTs, a lot of NFT cards to organize and sort out. Those NFTs are very key for the easy user onboarding. Currently, if it's a 721, it is very tough to organize it. But if it's as long as it's 1155, then like we can sort out all of the NFTs very easily compared to the 721. So that is the main reason that we did everything at this time at the same time. This is how it works. So we made an announcement about this swap, the bulk bridging, like a week ago. And I hope most of you guys already delisted the NFTs from the marketplaces to your wallet so that any kind of NFTs that you're owning your wallet, we can swap it our own operations so that you don't have to do anything. We will do the rest. Basically, what's going to happen is that your old NFTs, which is 721, will be burned. And we are airdropping the newer version of the exact same NFTs on 1155. That is what is happening on behind the scene right now. And this process will probably finish at the end of very first week of May. It's kind of time-taking process. We'll spend 7 to 10 days, and that is what we are doing now. And if you missed this opportunity, don't worry. We're having a next bulk bridging sessions around the end of May. That is what we are planning. Like end of the May or like probably early June, we are doing the second sessions. So if you can wait, then you can wait. If you cannot wait, you want to play the game first, then we are also providing you guys self-bridge function so that you can do the bridging by yourself. So we are announcing this URL very soon so that you can try the both options. Either you're going to wait or either you can do yourself. And at the same time, once this transition's completed, we'll start reactivating our final test leagues of NFTDuel. This is a very, very, very final process before the public beta launch. So we're going to have one more test league at the last to check everything like on-chain functions, 1155, the new logic of the abilities, and etc. And once it is fully okay, we're going to do the beta launch. So please participate, bridge your cards first, and participate this final test league. That is about the NFTDuel. And let me go to the launch of XANA Japan. We announced the launch of XANA Japan last week, and that was a kind of very big news. We already had localized XANA project in several countries, such as XANA China and XANA India, XANA Pakistan. I think that is pretty much it, right? That's something where we are doing the localization and biz devs and marketing at local. And this Japan will be the fourth country which has a local biz dev organizations. The main purpose of this XANA Japan is a marketing force, more likely, and a biz dev force. And they're going to do a lot of things. I cannot really say like in the detail now at this moment. But the first thing we're going to do about XANA Japan is that we will have an advisory board and the ambassador boards. We're going to invite the major key players in each sectors in Japan, such as on sports, music, culture, technologies, finance, and influencers, and many, many more. Like we're going to gather like top players from each sectors, and they're going to be becoming advisory board members. And after that, we're going to have ambassadors. Ambassadors is more like consisting the key influencers in each sectors. And they are more like take a role to spread XANA to all over Japan in each sectors. That's the very first mission of XANA Japan. And meanwhile, we're going to start doing a lot of like biz devs and partnerships with the several companies and brands, institutions. Now, breaking down is of course one of it. And we also start doing the things with the FSL Freestyle League, which is one of the industry leading hip hop cultures and event. And those are just the beginning. We're going to having more and more stuff, especially focusing on the like Gen Zs, they are always all the time, the beginning of the trend. A lot of like other SNSs or like games, they're starting from like Gen Zs and this metaverse cultures as well. Like there will be a lot of the native metaverse users or ages. They'll start make this kind of metaverse more like ordinary thing, not just a special thing for the special occasions, but instead they're like those people will be the metaverse native. That's going to be natural for them to, attending those metaverse event or like the cross event between the metaverse or like the realities and meet up with the friends or like making a new friends in the metaverse, creating some things like doing the businesses and many stuffs in the metaverse. I believe like those Gen Zs will start those kind of cultures for the metaverse era so that they're the very keys and our marketing will be very focusing on those Gen Zs in Japan. And what else we're going to do for the XANA Japan? Of course, we're going to have the preparation of the listing in Japan as well for the Zeta token because as we are doing those kind of massive promotions, marketing in Japan, that's going to be kind of meaningless if no one can purchase the Zeta token easily. So of course, we are start preparing stuff. We can probably give you some kind of update within the Q3 of this year, I believe. We like start preparing the stuff. And also, we're going to have a secondly, the land sale as well in this year. And that's going to be probably a little bit related to the XANA Japan as well. We're going to probably give you guys more details in hopefully within the Q2 of this year and latest on the Q3 of this year to start announcing our new land sale as well. We announced our CEO, the representative of XANA Japan, which is like Mr. Yuji Mizoguchi. He is like one of the best partner I've ever met. He's like a really like a famous entrepreneur, and he's been launching a lot of famous services. And his most notable work is of course a Breaking Down. It's like a revolutionary entertainment content in Japan right now. It's like simply the largest entertainment, and it just keeps growing. And since he joined Breaking Down, he is not the founding member, but like he joined from the, I believe, Breaking Down 3 or 4. Then after he joining, the revenue of the Breaking Down became like 100x. It's crazy. It's not like a few times X or 10x even. It's 100x. That's insane. And that is kind of like revolution he brought to the Breaking Down. And not only that, but like he's also started this like FSL and like many like things. Like he's really focusing on the new culture for the new people recently. We have like a very big sympathy about it. And he was also like seeing the same kind of future and visions that XANA has. So we had many things to talk about in common. And we just decided to have this XANA Japan, and he started acting this representative of XANA Japan. That's how it started. Very exciting about what is upcoming next in this XANA Japan. That is pretty much it about XANA Japan. And in the end, we're introducing new 2 MVPs for our monthly activities. First one, as we have been releasing a XANA game builder, you can probably already experiencing the building the games by our total of 12 to 13 game components in the XANA builders that we released. And you can start making very simple games by them. And we are also releasing our next 5 to 6 new components in upcoming week. And that is also enlarged a lot of possibility of the new genre of the games for sure. So that as we having those game functions and those games, mini games will be definitely a key for the XANA's content this year. So that we individually spin off this game building event from the XANA World Creators event. So that purely we're going to gather the game itself from this month of May. So that there will be 2 separate events. One is for the XANA builder, like XANA world building event, and another one is a XANA game creating event. So you can just start from like a very simple game, mini game kind of stuff. And as long as it's a game, then you can apply to this new MVP sections. We really hope many of you guys challenge these new genres because this is not super straightforward. This is not too easy to create any kind of game, right? Of course, like it's going to be less competitions, compared to the world building, because world building is very simple. Almost like now majority of the XANA users, XANA Japan, XANA DAO creators, they can create a world, but like still lesser people can create a game at this point. So there will be like a less competitions. So there's a lot of possibilities for you to grab these rewards and stuff. So that is about the game builder. And another one is like very interesting thing. This will be the creating drama. So what is creating drama? I was been researching like what is going on in the metaverse industry on the SNSs. And I was seeing that like many content is being created by users that is actually some kind of like a small like a comedies, like funny moments, or like a dramas in the metaverse. Some of them are really serious to create the full like role playing like theater kind of the content in the metaverse. I believe that was like Minecraft or like Roblox or something. I think that was a Minecraft. Some of them are creating some kind of love comedies with using like men's avatars and female avatars and stuff. That's really fun. And a lot of people are enjoying those kind of content, as we have like so many creative DAO members, and they're like already start creating like many interesting content in the metaverse. So that we thought it's going to be very interesting if XANA DAO, start creating some kind of like a small drama videos. It can be anything. It can be very as simple as like a few seconds, like a funny moments, or like any kind of like meme videos, or like a love comedies, funny moments, any kind of things. You can just use anyone's world, or like don't even have to be your own world. You can use like somebody else's world, official world, or even your own world. It is totally up to you to think about like any kind of videos. You can do it yourself, or like you can cooperate with your friends to have two people roles, or the cameramans or directors, whatever. And you can just apply those videos on the social network, and we will see like how it goes. I have a kind of strong feeling that like it's gonna be really fun. So like we are start gathering those content for the MVP event in May. Let's see. It's gonna be really fun. I think that's pretty much it for today. Let me recall the topics that we gave you this time. First one, XANA Festival 4.0 is coming, and the concept of the real and metaverse event, and the update of the XANA Metaverse app, which is SNS feed, Web3 logins, NFT recognitions, and also the preview of the XANA browser version. And about the little bit update of the what's upcoming for the XANA website, new website, and also the contract update of XANA Genesis and NFTDuel, and launch of XANA Japan, and launch of the new 2 MVP sectors, which is XANA Dramas and XANA Game Builder. Okay, there's many things upcoming, and this May, new things keep happening. We're gonna probably attend on the Breaking Down 8 as well, and this XANA Festival 4 is upcoming on the 30th May, and there will be more and more stuffs. New product is coming up, new update is coming up. Super exciting month. So we will see you. We will see you in those updates next time. Thank you so much for joining. I really love you guys, and hope you're going to create many, many, many interesting content in this May. Thank you so much for joining, and we will see you in next time. Good night. Have a great, great weekend.